Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm really excited to film this because I love fall time. I love doing my makeup in the fall. There's just something about the colors changing on the leaves and just like the crisp, cool air that really changes the way I do my makeup, and I just love the colors that I could wear this time of year. Of course, there aren't any rules to makeup and you could do your makeup however you want anytime throughout the year, but for some reason, I feel like fall just brings out the best in my makeup routine, and I want to share with you guys my favorite go-to warm tone but also like kind of vampy makeup products that I love wearing this time of year. I have a couple of palettes that I think are awesome for this time with a lot of like neutral warms but also like reds and burgundies and golds. Also my favorite lips to wear this time of year, and then I'm also going to be sharing with you my favorite face products. So I really hope that you guys enjoy seeing this video. Fall is like my favorite season. I'm all decked out in fall today. I have on my red flannel dress. This is a pretty typical makeup that I do if I was like glamming out for fall. So I just really wanted to get into the fall spirit today and share with you guys some of my favorite fall warm tone and vampy tone products, and if you guys are interested in seeing that, let's just go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I want to jump into in this video are my favorite fall palettes. There are so many fall palettes, you guys, and definitely lately in the community you see like warm tones, reds, oranges, all of these palettes coming out, but I feel like I haven't really gotten any of the newer ones because I have these in my collection that I really swear by, I really love, and to me, if you have these palettes, you don't need anything else for fall. So I have 4 palettes to share with you guys that I bounce back and forth with between the fall. These are definitely all in like my top 5 palettes, like in a general sense. Like if I had to go through my makeup collection and pick just 5 palettes, these would probably be 4 of the 5 that I would pick because they are already favorites and staples in my collections. If you guys know me, I typically always wear like really warm tones or like warm neutrals anyway throughout the year, so that is why my fall essential palettes are pretty much my essentials throughout the year. So let's just go ahead and get started with palette number 1. This is the ColourPop Yes Please palette. A lot of people refer to it as the Cute AF palette because that is what is imprinted on the front, but it is called the Yes Please palette. This is very dirty, you guys. This is very used. Just warning, if you guys don't like to see dirty used palettes, this is what mine looks like. It is really beat up. I love this palette so much. This is the most affordable palette that I'm going to be talking to you guys about today. I believe that this retails for $16. The quality of these shadows are incredible. So here's what the palette looks like. I will definitely be also inserting swatches, but this is a warm lover's dream. This is the absolute perfect palette for fall in my opinion. You have your oranges, your reds. I probably could do without the pop of yellow in here. It kind of, I feel like it goes with the palette, but I feel like if you cover it up, in my opinion, I feel like the palette just makes a little bit more sense. But I have worn it before. It is a nice yellow. I just don't get too much use out of it, but other than that, I love the matte shades in here. The shimmers or metallics are really great as well. I don't feel like they pack as much of a punch as I typically like in shadows. I love ColourPop Super Shock shadows, which I will be talking about one in a little while. These ones aren't as good as those, but the mattes in here are amazing, amazing quality. This is like a very true, super warm, fiery palette. If you want an eyeshadow that really is going to get you that fall leaves type of look, this is the palette that I would totally recommend. The only downside about this palette though is the packaging. It does get very dirty, as you guys can see, but it's very well loved. Like I said, I reach for this all the time, and I'm totally going to continue to use this fall because it is amazing and I love it. The Tartelette Toasted is my baby, you guys. I love this palette so much. I think this is gorgeous for fall. If you guys are looking for something that is gonna give you those warm fall vibes, those fall colors, but you don't want anything necessarily as fiery and as intense as that ColourPop Yes Please palette. This is definitely more on the neutral to warm side, and I really would recommend this palette to anyone. To me, this is almost like a perfect bridal palette or a perfect like prom palette. I would definitely say these are definitely colors that I would wear on my wedding. I wore a lot of colors like these to my prom, and of course throughout the fall time. So here's what this palette looks like. Like I said, definitely more on the neutral warm side, but it still has some beautiful warm tones in there. I feel like this could work for so many different skin tones. Like I said, this is one of my favorite palettes in general. I use this year round, but in the fall I get so much use out of it. This right here, these 2 shades are gorgeous on the lid. Formula wise, I always say that I think Tarte shadows are a little bit more beginners friendly compared to something like the ColourPop shadows or the Anastasia shadows that I'm going to talk about. Tarte shadows have a little bit more of a dryness to them, but they're not dry to the point where they don't blend or you can't work with them. You're just not going to get as much initial pigment as if you use the ColourPop shadow or the Anastasia Anastasia shadow, but I feel like this makes it very beginners friendly because it's really hard to go overboard with this palette, and you could just build the shadows up to a really nice intensity on the lid. I feel like every time I play with this palette, I'm like, ooh, I love how my eyeshadow turned out today. It's just like my favorite go-to palette. Some of the shades in here that really stand out to me are Latte, Warmth, like I said, Flame and Simmer here are gorgeous. I love Cozy. These three dark shades over here are some of my favorites. And I have definitely mentioned this before when I was talking about this palette in the past, but I really appreciate that this palette doesn't have a black, because I'm not the type of person that when I need to go in and, oh, I want to darken up my look, I want to smoke out that outer corner or my lower lash line, I rarely ever go in with a black. And I could so appreciate that they put in this beautiful dark chocolatey brown, which, by the way, the glitter in here doesn't show up on the lid too much, so you don't have to worry about that. It pretty much just performs like a normal matte would. And I love this Fireside shade. I don't know if you guys can see, but this is just the most beautiful brownie plum color. And like I said, as someone who doesn't use black shadows really often, I feel like I can appreciate those shades so much. I also love the packaging of this palette. I think it has major fall vibes. It's just one of those palettes to me that I want to display. I always want it on my desk. Super cute. I just love it a lot. I definitely would recommend this to you guys if you are looking for just like an awesome, more neutral to warm palette, something that's not going to be super fiery and like intensely red and orange on the lid, but will still give you that like everyday warm like fall look. I totally recommend this palette for that. I'm sure that you guys could totally guess these next two palettes, but of course they are the Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Modern Renaissance palette, and the Soft Glam palette. So I want to talk about these two palettes today because I feel like they are the epitome of fall makeup. At least to me, when I want to look like this, I incorporated the Soft Glam. There are just so many of my go-to staple fall colors in these palettes. I wanted to talk about them. So first things first, I definitely don't think that you guys need both of these palettes. I'm going to put it right out there. My favorite is the Soft Glam palette. So if you guys want to like decide between these palettes, my favorite is the Soft Glam palette. So let me put this one down and talk about the Soft Glam palette first. So this palette is my absolute favorite palette of all time. I have gotten so much use out of this palette, and it is my perfect eyeshadow palette for sure. These colors to me are just like everyday fall goodness. You have your warm tones, you have your metallic shades in there, some shimmers, you have your deepening shades. As you guys can see, I've gotten so much use out of the shade Burnt Orange. This is my absolute favorite transition shade for this time of year. This is what I'm wearing kind of on my upper transition here today. So definitely my favorite transition shade pretty much all year round. Let me show you guys how much I love the shade Burnt Orange. You guys are gonna laugh. So here is Burnt Orange in my Modern Renaissance palette, and then here is Burnt Orange in my Soft Glam palette. I have hit pan in both. And when did I get my Soft Glam palette? I want to say I got my Soft Glam palette maybe last May or last June. So it hasn't even been that long of a time, and I already hit pan on this. And just touching a little bit more on the Modern Renaissance, this is my baby, you guys. This was my first experience with Anastasia shadows. I do like Soft Glam more, but I think if you guys like a little bit more of an intense smoky look for the fall, maybe with a little bit more of like a pink or an intense orange in there, this would probably be your best bet over Soft Glam. Soft Glam definitely has that same formula as Modern Renaissance, which I was really excited about. I know Anastasia went through a thing where they were like playing around with the formulas and people weren't happy and stuff like that, but Soft Glam is formulated like Modern Renaissance. I did mention once that I felt like some of the shades in the Modern Renaissance were a little bit more on the cool side. I definitely feel like Love Letter, Bon Fresco, Antique Bronze, some of these shades right here where my fingers are, I feel like those tend to lean a little bit more cool tone. Whereas if you go ahead and put Soft Glam and Modern Renaissance right next to each other, this one being Modern Ren, this one being Soft Glam, I feel like something about Soft Glam just has a little bit more of a warm vibe to it, whereas I would say you can get more of a vampy look with Modern Renaissance. So that is my comparison between the two. Personally for me, I prefer Soft Glam, but I love both of them, and at the end of the day, it would just come down to personal preference. So now that we have covered all of my favorite fall palettes, let's talk about lips. Fall lips are so fun for me. I just want to clear really quickly that I'm going to be talking about 5 of my favorite fall lip shades. I do really still like to wear my favorite like everyday nudes or everyday neutrals during the fall. I wear those all the time, like ColourPop What's Your Sign, Anastasia Beverly Hills Peachy, MAC Velvet Teddy. Those are pretty much in like my weekly routine. These are my favorite go-to fall lipsticks when I'm not wearing like one of my everyday nudes. So let's just go ahead and get started. So like I said, I have a few to talk about ranges from drugstore and high-end as well. So this one right here is the Laura Mercier Extreme Velour Matte Lipstick in the shade Fierce. I discovered these through watching Alexandria Garza. I don't know if you guys know who that is. I absolutely love her. I love her and her husband and Julian. He's so cute, but I watch her videos all the time, and I believe it was maybe sometime last year she went through a phase where she wore so many of these, and I was like, oh, I need one. So I think last year, maybe for the VIB sale last November, I picked this up, and it is absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna be inserting swatches like I said, but this is what this looks like. This to me is like a total deep 90s lip shade. It is the most perfect. I'm gonna swatch them for myself so I could like kind of look at it and describe it, but you guys will see close-up swatches as well. To me, it is the most perfect mix between like a brown, a terracotta, and a slight plum in there. It's like a warm plum is the best way I could describe it. I don't know why I see it that way, but it is one of my absolute favorite lips to wear this time of year. It is long lasting, it is super comfortable, and it is more on the matte side, but it's not a really dry matte. It's more of an emollient, creamy, almost like a classic lipstick, but it's in this really cool packaging, which I love, and it makes it really easy to apply. So I love these. I definitely would say that the price of this is more on the high-end side. I think one of these is like 30. Oh gosh, was this in the 30s? That's expensive. I typically don't spend that much money on something like this, but it was just really interesting to me, and I'm so happy that I did. I get so much use out of this, and to me, if I'm gonna spend, was this $38? There's no way. Hold on. So I just checked the Sephora website, and this is $28, not $38. So a little bit better, but still $30 for a lipstick, at least for me, has always been a little bit more on the steep side. I always maybe spend max it's like a MAC lipstick, like $18. So almost $30 for a lipstick was really steep to me, but I'm so happy that I did get my hands on this. I feel like the color is just so beautiful. I ordered the shade online without swatching it or anything, so I was a little bit nervous, but like I said, that perfect deep 90s lip for this time of year, amazing formula, amazing lasting power, and I'm really happy that I discovered these. Next up, I have two MAC lipsticks that I want to talk about. You guys know MAC has like literally lipstick in every single shade, every single finish, and for every season and every occasion. I really want to try their new Powder Kiss lipsticks. Let me know if you guys have tried those. I have a couple of them on my Christmas list, but they look absolutely amazing. So let me know what you guys think of the formula. But the first one that I want to talk about is definitely more on, I would say, the Vampy side of things. I don't wear this lip color often, but when I'm feeling like I just want that really deep burgundy, insanely dark lip, this is the one that I go for, and this is usually the darkest that I'll go when it comes to lips. So the shade that I'm talking about is actually Diva by MAC. I've had this lipstick forever. I'm not very comfortable in anything much darker than this. To me, this is considered vampy, and I feel like fall time and winter time are just perfect for those super dark and like sultry, just vampy lips. And the formula on this MAC lipstick is amazing. I don't find that it bleeds outside the lips. It's really easy to apply. It's really easy to maintain. I feel like a lot of the time when I wear a really dark lip like this, it needs a lot of upkeep and a lot of maintenance, and I don't find that this one really needs it. So this is a matte formula, and I think the matte formulas from MAC are really good. For me, I love wearing this lip with like a little bit of a light brown smoked out on my eye, mascara, even like a nude liner to really open up the eyes, and this dark lip. I love that like wide, bright, doe-eyed look with a really vampy look. I don't know, personally for me, that's just my favorite way to wear this lip. I think it's a beautiful color, and it's just a MAC classic. And like I said, I've had this for so long in my collection now. I still have a lot left because I don't wear vampy lips often, but when I do, Diva is my go-to. It's just perfect. I love it. The other lip that I wanted to mention from MAC that I love for this time of year is the shade Chili. It is also a matte lip, and this is the little mini one. These mini MAC lipsticks are so cute. I just have so many different lip colors that I like to go between, and I never really go through a full shade of lipstick. Like I said, I've had that Diva for so long, and I feel like even though I wear it a lot, I've never gone through it. So I feel like I always like to get these little mini ones so I could try them out. This shade I love. I feel like the name of this lipstick is very self-explanatory. The name Chili describes it perfectly. It's terracotta, but it's super warm. I don't know if you guys can see. I wouldn't classify this as like a classic red lipstick. I feel like it definitely has like a hint of like an orangey terracotta under there, and I love how this looks on the lips. I have this mixed in with another lipstick on my lips right now, and I found that mixing it in with something that's just a little bit more muted and brown, putting this on top just made the most beautiful, like warm brown shade. If you lean more towards the terracotta, orangey, like burnt orange lips this time of year, I would totally look into this one. I love it. It's so nice. ColourPop Gallop is also another favorite of mine for this time of year. These Cream Luxe lipsticks have an incredible formula to start off with, but when I saw Gallop on the website, I thought it was very interesting. I feel like this might be similar to Chili. Actually, let me swatch this next to Chili, because now that I'm saying that, I'm like, oh my gosh, are these like the same shade? Oh wow, those are really similar, you guys. I didn't even realize how similar those were. Looking at them side by side, this is Gallop right here. Gallop is definitely about a shade darker and a little bit more on the brown side, but as you guys can see, they definitely both have like that super warm burnt orange undertone. But those are a lot more similar than I thought before I swatched them next to each other. But anyway, like I said, this is the Cream Luxe lipstick formula from ColourPop. Amazing, amazing lipstick formula. It is so comfortable. It definitely has a creamy finish, so it's gonna make your lips look really plump, really hydrated and healthy, but it packs a full amount of color with one swipe. The formula is absolutely incredible on these ColourPop lipsticks. I have it in a few other shades as well, and I definitely would recommend them. And the price point, like this full ColourPop lipstick is less than the mini MAC lipstick. So if you guys are looking into one, I would probably say you could get the ColourPop lipsticks. You are gonna have to pay shipping, and that would put one of these at $11, but it still is cheaper than one full-size MAC lipstick, and I feel like the formula is just as good, if not even better. So this next lipstick that I wanna talk about is the L'Oreal Color Riche lipstick in 804. He thinks he's macho, like macho, but macho. I don't know who comes up with any of these names, you guys. Some of them are a little weird, but I really love this. This is the lip that I'm wearing underneath MAC Chili right now. Definitely a little bit more on the brown side. And at first when I saw this lipstick, I thought it was gonna be a little bit too cool tone. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I just tried this on for the first time this morning, but I love the color so much. I felt like I had to mention this. I have tried this formula before though, so the formula is nothing new to me. I stand by the formula. I love the formula. This is just a different color. So here's what this shade looks like. This is, yeah, this one, 804. He thinks he's macho. And like I said, I didn't think I would love this as much as I do. When I first swatched it, I was like, is that gonna be like a little bit too brown? Does it have a little bit too much of like a pinky undertone to it? But I really love this. I think it's warm enough to wear in the fall. And like I said, with a little bit of MAC Chili on top, I love this combination. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this, a lot more than I thought I would. Look at that shade, you guys. It is so pretty. A little bit similar to Laura Mercier Fierce that I mentioned first, but definitely more on like the straight up camel-y brown side. The only thing that I don't love about these L'Oreal lipsticks are the scent. I feel like that scent, you guys know what I mean if you have smelled a L'Oreal lipstick before. Oh god, my voice is really going, you guys. No. I feel like if you have smelled a L'Oreal lipstick before, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but I love this color. Definitely different for me, but I feel like fall is the perfect time of year to kind of play around with different fun colors and stuff that's a little bit out of your comfort zone, so that is definitely something I'm gonna keep playing around with this fall. So lastly for this video, I just have a couple of other things that I want to talk to you guys about, one of them being this ColourPop Super Shock shadow in the shade Sequin. I actually forgot how much I love this shadow, and I actually stopped wearing it for a while because I only really like to wear this in the fall time. I feel like it's just really fall appropriate, and it could look a little bit heavy for me personally in the summer. In the summer, I like wearing something on my lid that's very brightening, very almost like champagne, almost whitish. I don't know, I just like something more brightening on my lid, and this is what I have on my lid today. So again, this is the ColourPop Super Shock shadow in the shade Sequin. This is the most beautiful shade, you guys. I think it goes with the warm shadows on my lid so well. It's just like the most perfect copper, but it almost has like a hint of rose gold in there as well. Just a really great shade. The formula of these Ultra Glitter Super Shock shadows are amazing. I love like all of the ones that I've tried. I love the color on this. It is just so, oh, do you guys see that intensity? It is just so intense. I am all about this color and this formula for sure. And last but not least, for my fall makeup essentials, I want to talk to you guys about my favorite highlighter for this time of year. This is the one that I'm wearing today. There is something about a super gold highlighter that I love for the fall and winter. This one specifically that I love is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder in the shade Golden Flower Crown. I know I've talked about this on my channel before, but I love this shade. It is really just that super pure gold shade. But look at this. It is just pure like liquid gold. It has the most amazing formula, you guys. I just love it. I don't know what it is. There's just something about golden highlighters and the warm tones on the eyes and like the really like 90s terracotta lip. I think it just makes it look so cohesive and I love it. And this one is only $4.99 and it is one of my favorite highlighters ever. So definitely an amazing steal. If you guys can find this, totally recommend it. It is one of the best highlighters for me ever and I get a lot of use out of this in the fall. All right, you guys, so that is going to complete this video. Those are all of my fall makeup essentials. I love fall makeup. It just makes me so happy and excited. There's just something about those warm tones that make me feel really warm and cozy and put together, and I love just the occasional vampy look here and there. But like I said, I really hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and also make sure you guys are subscribed before you leave. I would love to have you guys here as part of my little YouTube fam. Definitely make sure that you guys are following my social media and let me know what your favorite fall makeup products are, whether it's a palette, it's a lipstick that you guys like to pull out, a blush, or whatever it is. Definitely let me know. I really feel like I'm kind of starting to lose my voice, so I hope it's not bothering you guys too much. I really wanted to film another video after this, but we're gonna have to see how it goes. If you guys don't want to miss out on any of my future videos, make sure you have my notifications on and you will get directly notified every single time that I upload a new video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.